Hey, Toy Fanatics, I'm here with another review of the awesome DC Primal Age figures. Um, so far, we've looked at Batman, we've looked at Joker, and now we've got another one to add, the Primal Age Green Lantern, and I'll be sure to drop an Amazon link down in the show notes for you. So I've always liked the Green Lantern. Have you liked the Green Lantern? You do?
I love Green Lantern.
I do too.
He's one of my favorites.
I think so. And look, how much does that face look a little bit like Nathan Fillion? So you know the Green Lantern fans, they're pretty happy about that. Muscle wise, not so much, but at least if I remove everything else, I got myself a Castle figurine or maybe an older Mal from Firefly. So yeah, we're gonna dig into this one, check it out, and make sure see if it's well worth the price we paid, right? So that's why I'm here talking toys. You want to lead us out?
Yeah. Lead it.
And here we have our DC Primal Age Green Lantern on card. So we've got our bubble here that's holding Green Lantern in. And it's cool because we can see some of his transparent shieldings on him. Now, all in all, same card as what we've had before. We can actually compare that to, say, the Batman and the Joker. Every single card is basically the same, with the exception that now it says Green Lantern. Of course, is our 5.5-inch action figure, done the Motu style with a nice explosion in the background. And if you're wanting to know, we talked about that card in depth with the Batman and the Joker figurine. Turn it over, and if you look on the back, we've got our cross-cell art, and we've had, oh, that's interesting. I'll have to fix that later. So, of course, in our line for collect them all of our cross-cell art, we've got Batman, Green Lantern, Aquaman, Scareglow, Wonder Woman, Mr. Freeze, King Shark, and the Joker. And we've already done reviews of Batman and the Joker, and of course, this is our Green Lantern. One thing to keep in mind about this, the cross-cell art actually deals with the comic book drawings of them instead of the actual picture of the toy. So that's kind of a big difference that we've had in the past against He-Man toys, where the cross-cell art was an art piece of the actual toy. This is in affiliation with DC and Warner Brothers, and it is made by Funko Toys. It is suggested, I haven't mentioned this, it is suggested as an 8-year-old and up. A couple of times I felt like that it probably should have been a little bit higher just because of the fragility of the toyality of it. It's not necessarily as much of a play thing as it is really a display piece. But what we found with the Joker is the Joker actually had a lot of playality, toyality to it. It was kind of a playable toy. Batman, not so much. So let's open this up and get into it and figure out what's going to make him special and unique against the other two. Alright, and right out of the package, I have to admit, this so far has been my absolute favorite figurine of this line. Such a good action figure. So far, I've had no articulation problems. Nothing falling off, except his head is a little pliable, but it's not that bad. It's actually can pop off and pop on, and I turn it and I don't have to worry about his head falling off like my Batman. He is chocked full of accessories. Really cool stuff here. Lots of his green apparition, his projections that he makes. Let's get in and start looking at all these different elements that make up the Primal Age Green Lantern, because this is one that's firing, in my opinion, on all cylinders. So with our Green Lantern, we do get several accessories. One of which is the axe. Now, one of the things I love about these small accessories is that they are all done in a translucent plastic to kind of give the projection aspect of his Green Lantern power there, so we can really see it. What's cool about this is he has a lot of the lantern motif built into his weapons. So this one actually has the Green Lantern logo on each blade and a little bit of cutting onto the blades to make them look worn and beat up. It has a little bit of detail on the wrappings and some woodwork detail as well in the handle. A very cool accessory. Now we'll go to the next accessory over here. Let's actually look at his shield. Now his shield is fairly tight as far as the clip, And what I like about his shield, again, you've got that Green Lantern motif at the front, his emblem there. And then he actually has small rivets that go all the way around. Now this is still done that translucent green projection plastic, but it also has like cuts and bangs on it. Like this thing has received some battle scarring down the road. It's a very cool piece. Now, normally we'd say that's it, but we're not actually done yet because we have more weapons. Woo! And more accessories. That one just kind of flew out. This one, so we've got a Morningstar, so kind of a mace aspect, and this thing is shining off in a very like asymmetrical design as far as the thorns on this, and it is made in kind of a bit of a gummy plastic, so it's not as hard. Now, the bottom of it is a harder plastic, and it kind of makes me wonder why they didn't just do the whole thing in one piece, but they've got the gummier piece glued into the rigid plastic down here. And again, all done as a translucent green projection. And then what's cool about this one is this one actually mimics that of a bone that's been wrapped up. So instead of it being a stick, it's actually made of bone. So kind of going with the barbarian aspect of what we're doing with a Primal Age is that they're kind of finding whatever they can to make their weapons. So that's our third accessory, but we're still not done yet. We also have his actual lantern. Now keep in mind, he does have the ring here. The ring is sculpted onto his hand, so he does have that. But he actually is able to carry his lantern around with him. And it's done on a chain. And what's cool about this is that it's actually swivel. So this thing is two parts where you have the lantern. And the lantern's done the translucent green plastic with some silvering on there just to make it stand out. And then it's put on kind of a gummier chain that actually has it where he has a little bit of swivel on that lantern. Such a cool piece, and I love the fact that they went out of their way to make it like this. Now, that's 4 accessories. We think we're done, but we're not done yet. Nope. He also has over here a shoulder pauldron. Now the shoulder pauldron is a little bit gummier material, still done in that translucent green plastic. That's a little bit harder up top, but the bottom of it's not. It's a little bit gummier, so it's able to move. And it has basically a hook and a latch system where you're able to put that strap in there and hold it into place. And yet, we're still not done, are we? No, we're just getting through the accessories. Now, if you look on his leg, this one might be a little bit tougher. It was tough earlier. Yeah, that one's going to be a little bit tougher. This one, we have the leg armor as well. So this is his thigh armor and done with the spikes here. This one's feels a little bit harder than the other. But again, kind of done the gummier plastic here, so it's able to loop and belt, and it's done that translucent green. So let's count them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whoa, 6 accessories with this one figure. Again, this is what I'm saying, this figure is firing on all cylinders. Now, without his accessories, all in all, he looks pretty bland. Like, there's not quite as much going on. But cool things to note, he does have this armor sculpted on. This is green armor. And then he has this nice belt buckle that kind of ties back into the silver of his lantern chain. And he has the Green Lantern emblem there. And of course his ring, which is sculpted fairly nicely. Let's look at his articulation. So we've got, of course, swivel head, and nothing stands in the way of hindering it. We have our swivel arms, and they can swivel all the way around on both arms. We got the ball jointed legs, and these legs, they're nice and tight, but they're also not feeling like they're about to break. Now, the one part of articulation I had a hard time with was this waist. Now, I do have it working now, and what I had to do is I had to put my fingers here, and just kind of rock it back and forth till I felt like it loosened up. I felt like maybe there was some paint app or something here that was kind of keeping it from moving. But his waist does move. It rocks back and forth, which is a cool thing. So all in all, he's got tons of accessories, a really cool figure overall. I would say let's put all of his stuff back on and let's kind of compare him to the others. Next to our Batman from the same line. All in all, I feel like these two, they look like they could be brothers in arms and they could really battle it out and kind of help say the Primal Age. So I think both of them fit really well together. I think they both carry a really unique design for the DC aspect of having kind of a Motu look about them. Very 80s. I'm loving this very, very much. And then let's compare him to a villain. Let's say somewhere down the road he decides to take on the Joker. Now the Joker had actually a really good review. Green Lantern's also going to have a really good review. Both of these so far, they're meant for adult collectors, but some of the kids can really get into this as well. And I think some of the older kids that really get into it, I think that they'll get more out of it. I could see him going and taking down the Snake King of Third Earth to protect the Primal Age as well for the DC characters. Alright, so there you have it, guys. This is the Green Lantern from the Primal Age DC characters, made by Funko Toys. The DC Primal Age Green Lantern. Again, things I loved. I love the fact that he had 6 accessories. I love like the chain right here, his actual lantern that he has. I thought was super cool. So far for me, this might not be the quintessential character to get for the DC Primal Age, but this is probably one of the best ones I think out of the line, and I really think it comes down to the fact that he has so much more to offer. The body itself is rather simplistic, but Green Lantern's uniform is rather simplistic. He doesn't have a lot of things to him, so I think the detail they added was perfect for making this particular character stand out and shine. So what was your favorite part about this Green Lantern action figure? Yeah, his lantern chain is a definite shining point for him. I think the fact that they've got
that... And this can move too.
It can move, that's right, and he's got that translucent green lantern core in there. I think this is a really cool detail that they could have easily overlooked, and they didn't. So this, to me, is a really good thing. Few notes of concern. The hands are a little tight, though I've been able to pry mine open a little bit, so that hasn't been quite as big of a problem as it was like with the Mum-Ra figure, the Batman, the Joker. Like this one seems to be a little bit more pliable in the plastic, which is kind of cool. The waist articulation, keep in mind that belt might have been painted down, so you might have to do a little bit of wiggling to get that open. But I think my favorite thing is he's got so many accessories. He's really cool. So out of 5 stars, so 5 being the best, which means that if he's the absolute best, he would get 5 stars. Or if he's not too good, he'd probably get 1 or 0. Where would you rate this out of 5 stars?
I would give it 5.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to agree with you, honestly.
Yeah.
It's
a pretty cool thing.
It is. I'm going to give him 5 stars as well. So this is the first one, I think, in my opinion, that's hit 5 stars out of all my ratings. This is a really good figure, and he can be found on Amazon right now, and I'll put a link in the show notes as well, so you have it. Yeah, this one is, I think, in my opinion, well worth it, and that's why I'm here talking toys. So remember, they're not dolls, are they?
They're action figures.
They're action figures, chock full of accessories. If you like what you see, be sure to hit that like button. Also go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll have more of these toy videos coming to you soon. This episode of Tay Ray Gun was sponsored by Marvin Dog Media. To learn more about Marvin Dog Media, visit www.marvindogmedia.com.